Yahawah, bahashem, Yahawah, brought Yahawah, bahashem, Yahawah, salvation to the elect. It's been a while for me. I always been in the spirit. I never fell out the spirit, but as far as making videos and everything, it's been a while for me because I've been going through a lot of different things in this captivity that's been stopping me from making these videos. When you ain't got internet, when you ain't got a phone, when you're going through tough patches like that, your best bet is just to resort back to keeping the law, statutes, commandments. My passion is I want to get out there on the highways and byways. I want to get out there on the streets. That's what I want to do. That's my passion. That's what I'm working up to. I want to find some more brothers in this truth. This little small town where I live at, ain't no brothers in the truth. I ain't met none. I ain't bumped into none. It's only like 200,000 people here. You see what I'm saying? It's very small, so it's very limited for you to do a lot of different things opposed to if you're like in a big city. But you got to keep faith though. One thing I realize is trying to be successful in this world, trying to be prosper in this world, the Esau system, the Esau world, it's over with. You might as well just get that up. And I'm coming from a standpoint of a man that's been able to get what you would call success, able to get big W-2s, work, make a lot of money, have extra income, nice cars and houses. I was able to taste that life and see that life, especially my parents, seeing them get to part of that life, but ultimately seeing the Most High destroy and take it all away from them. My father, I'm a biological, but father, one that raised me, in jail, his sons in jail, cousins, their fathers, all their brothers, all in jail. Mother committing adultery. But it's like as time goes past, it's like it's okay to do it because she's been doing it for so long. But that doesn't make it okay. It would never be okay. If you committing a sin, you living in that sin, it's still a sin no matter how much the time go past. But the problem is, it's like you got to give up this world. The new covenant and the other side is what you got to live for. Everything you're doing right now has to be preparing the future in the kingdom, trying to do the best you can so you could even make it to the kingdom. You don't want to be called the least in the kingdom. You want to be called the highest in the kingdom. You want to be one of those elect. You want to be a part of the elect that make it to the kingdom, that get saved. Hebrews 8:8. I ain't got no scriptures with me. I ain't got my Bible. I ain't got my sword with me. I did leave it at home, but because I'm just in between right now, that ain't no excuse. But I'm gonna get back to it. I'm gonna come back 10 times stronger, I promise you. But yeah, Hebrews 8:8, new covenant with Israel. You got what is it? John 4 and 22. A new covenant with Israel. You got, just giving a couple scriptures since I ain't got my sword on me. You got Jeremiah 31:31, which is new covenant. If you go to Romans 9:1-5, those are the promises. That's the new covenant. That's everything that pertains to Israelites. That's the blessings that we have to come. We might not be seeing them right now because of the curses of Deuteronomy 28, all the way to 68. From the beginning all the way to 68, we living in those curses right now. But Romans 9 shows you, those are the promises that are promised to us. And you got to remember, living on this side of the world, that those promises are still promised to us. We're going to get them as long as we do our part. So we got to do our part. The Lord already got those things set up for us. He got those promises set up for us. We got to do our part by keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. You see what I'm saying? You find the laws in Leviticus. Start at Leviticus 11. Go all the way up to Leviticus 22. Go all the way up there, and you got all the laws. So there's no excuse for saying, well, I don't know the laws. What's laws, statutes, commandments? The 10 laws, statutes, commandments? No, there's way more to that. There's no excuse. Go through the book of Leviticus. Go through the book of Judges. Go through the book of Proverbs. You got all these different laws, statutes, and commandments that you could find right there in the book that you could sit down and start following. Go through Numbers. Get your fringes. Numbers 15 and 38. Get your fringes and everything like that. Numbers 11, the dietary law, follow these things, the Sabbath days. You can find that in Genesis, you know what I mean? So it's like we still got to do our part. You know, the law ain't done away with. We're under the curses, and we're still under the law. John 5:17, you know, the Lord came not to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. You know, as long as the earth is here, you know, and the heavens, which are the skies that you can see, is here. That means you still have to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. I mean, you could go to John 5:46-47. Remember the times of old. Remember the times. How can you believe in who you call Jesus Christ, Yahawashi? How can you believe in him if you ain't believe in Moses, right? So that's pointing back at the Old Testament, which means that it's pointing back at those old laws, statutes, and commandments that you find in the Old Testament in books like Leviticus and stuff like that. And then you go to the New, you go to Proverbs and stuff like that. So it's like you still got to keep those laws, statutes, and commandments. It's not over with. That's your main focus, is keeping those laws, statutes, commandments. Now, everybody ain't meant to be teachers. You know, a lot of us just got into this truth. Like me, I'm fairly new in this truth. I've been in this truth for probably 2 years. My first year was just hearing about it. The second year was actually trying to follow it and learn. You see what I'm saying? That was the second year. So really, I've been knowing about the truth for 2 years, but I've been in the truth for about a year. You know, it takes time to become a teacher. Those men that's on the highways and byways, those kings, they out there, they worthy enough to do that. You don't want to get out there and not be worthy enough to do it and lead somebody astray, lead somebody wrong. You want to get out there when you're ready, but stand behind those men, support those men, listen, learn. So then when your time comes, you could be out there. And that's where I'm heading to. You know, that's the next step for me. That's where I'm trying to go, is first following law, statute, commandments, learning this book to a T, so then I could be worthy enough to stand bold like a lion. You know what I mean? And I could stand out there and I could do the teaching. You know, I'll be on the internet teaching. I'll be on what they call Facebook Warrior on Facebook, you know, going back and forth teaching, because you got the time to sit down, you know, go find the answer, come back, reply. But when you ultimately, the prophets were supposed to be out there in person on the highways and byways with those swords in their hand, cutting people down and teaching people and building people up. You know, you can't take a bad foundation and try to build on top of it. You got to cut it down first, and then you got to start over new with a stronger foundation. Then you could build it up to be something strong, you know. But that's just my thing, is just keeping faith, you know, studying to be approved, you know, following law, statutes, commandments in these last days. It still is the last days. I know it seems like it's prolonging. You like, man, I want something to happen to these. I want something to happen, man. All these people that scoff up against the Lord and everything like that, I want them to get their judgment. I want them to get that judgment right on them, man. I'm tired of just seeing the wicked prosper. The wicked prosper while we struggling, you know. All our family in jail. Everybody around you on drugs, getting killed. I know this personally. Or you managed to get a good job, you out here working hard, but then they slap child support on you, and it's an unfair amount of child support on you. So you like, man, I'm basically a slave. I might as well not even work. I take care of mine. And you still got the nerve to just say, oh, I gotta pay child support. Why? Because a court system says that you have to pay it. That's their excuse. They say, well, according to this law. Okay, so who made that law? So it's according to them, really. They're people, but that's just going off because that's personal stuff I got to deal with. But the thing is like, you just got to give that up. Give up their system. Give up trying to prosper in their system, trying to be rich in this system, because they put too many obstacles in front of your people as a whole for us to even succeed. So just give it up. Stick on this where I know it's hard, because you got to eat, got to sleep, you know. You still a human, so yeah, you want nice things. Yeah, you might want this or want that and nice things, but you just got to give it up as much as you can, man. And make sure that you're able to live and be strong so you can stay in this truth. But just give up all that 10 years, I'm trying to be a millionaire, I'm trying to buy all this prop, man. Just get that up, man. Follow these laws, statutes, commandments, and put your head down in this book and learn, man. And follow the Lord and pray. Send those prayers up that you be saved. That should be your main focus, day in, day out. You should be meditating on this law, meditating on this word, man. For those scoffers, those brothers that fall out, man, you better pray that the Lord let you repent and get back in. There's a lot of men that have fell out and got back in. But at the same time, man, if you falling out, it probably was never meant for you. I mean, that's up for the Lord to decide. But, man, my thing is, if you fall out the truth, You went through a hard path, you can get back in, you can repent. My thing is, if you fall out the truth and then you start scoffing up against it, making videos, coming up against us, why I was an ex-Hebrew Israelite, I'm not no more, why quit this group, quit this camp, or they be bugging over there, they was doing this and doing that, and you don't even know what you're talking about, you don't even know the scriptures, and this coming from a young dude myself. Man, you're part of the 2/3. You're gonna burn in hell for doing that, man, because you was in it and you knew what it was about and you had your chance, and now you scoffing up against it. And ultimately, you ain't scoffing up against us. You ain't scoffing up against the prophets, the kings, the elders. You're not scoffing up against us. Just ultimately, you're scoffing up against the Lord, and He gonna bring that judgment down on your head, man. And that's for all the people I be seeing falling off the truth, and then they want to scoff up against it. Man, come on, what's better? What's better to do? Even if you look at it, even if you say, okay, well, this ain't got nothing to do with the Lord, this is just a cult. What's better? Following this American system? That's better? Even if this was just a cult. At least we telling our people not to kill each other, not to steal from each other, love each other, follow law, statutes, commandments, don't eat stuff that's gonna kill you anyways. Don't follow these pagan holidays, wear fringes so we can identify with each other. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? That's a good thing. That's better than following this American way. Would say homosexuals could get married who promote it. Lies, stealing, and killing is how they got this place. Come on, man. Follow the law, stay in this truth, stay faithful in these last days. It's still the last days, and I feel like something big coming soon. They can't go too farther. They ain't got too much time, man. War finna break out at any time in the Middle East. Look what just happened to Saudi Arabia oil tanks. Man, they gonna hit back, and then they gonna get hit back. Man, war finna break out at any time. And even if war don't break out at any time, they gotta make war break out. Because even if war don't break out at any time, you still got the money situation. It can't last for too longer. It just can't. They've been kicking the can down the street over and over and over and over again. They ain't got too much longer. It's finna be over with. Period. And the only one that can save you at the end is the Lord. So stay in faith, man. That should be your number one thing. Barak Yahawah, bahashem and Shai. Barak Yahawah, bahashem and Shai. Salvation to the elect. Be our shield. Be our glory. Bring the kingdom. Defeat our enemies. Reunite our family.